to Minneapolis. Yeah, even you. Minneapolis. So I went back to Minneapolis in the summer of 2015. And I was there for a day, I guess. First I was at the airport, and early in the morning I rode into somewhere up along the river and then walked down the river on that other side. Whichever side, it gets confusing. But went around where I used to be when I was a kid. And crossed one of those bridges and ended up back at my old school, which is torn down. It's got the new freeway that they put in, maybe in the 80s or something, or 2000. That they didn't have to tear it down, but they did. It doesn't. The freeway doesn't go right over it, but they tore it down anyway. It was the Southwest Free School and the Motley Building. That was the year of 78, 79, that school year. So I went there. I came up to Minneapolis for the 8th grade. Like, I arrived in December, and I went to that school. I went through the whole spring. And so I would be barefoot in the school because they're like totally normal there. That was the real thing. I used to think like half of Minneapolis was Native American or something, or a third, because like half the kids in our school were Native American because they had their own school, and then there with their classes, and then for half the time then would be in our classes. And yeah, that was cool. So I was barefoot, and it ended up I would just go to the river. Like 2/3 of the day I just skipped school, especially once the spring hit, or late, even this late winter. When spring, I'm just on the river. I used to come out of that building and go, it's like right across that little street. You're right at the Mississippi. And it's those cliffs, the bluffs that goes down, but there it's like a incline, like really steep though. I just run down that path. That thing was steep. Run, and then at the bottom maybe it's a cliff that's 20 feet more, or maybe it's just 15. Maybe it's more than that, actually. And I would just keep run, and then there's be a tree that I would hook my arm around, swing right around. So then go to the right. I could just run really fast like that. It was crazy. And when I first got there, I had a hard time. I got stuck down there. And you go down in the winter, like, where did I have to go? Well, one way you can go, which way? That's up the river. And it still smells like diapers there, this one spot. And it's probably on purpose. That smelled like diapers when I was a kid. And it's still, when I went back in 2015, it did again. Still, just that spot. The broken stuff. And, or you could go the other way. Actually, that one. God, if you go downriver, you can get up. But that's not actually just... You have to do these paths. Yeah, that's a pain. In the winter when it's all crazy. But I guess I could just go right up the cliffs. And it's a matter of, like, you got to hold on to stuff. It'll crumble. So you have to put just the right amount of weight on each finger, on each hand, on each foot. Stuff like that. So, yeah, so I went back to Minneapolis. First I was on the other side, then came across to where my school is. And the university's right there, what you call it. The really cool university. But I know you guys you're all watching, you're on it, and that's why I'm doing this. It's to you. And you know what you did. Well, you don't know what you did, I'm going to tell you. Well, that thing. What was it? The Summer of Love, like 2020. That was like all the way cold. Like, I get can't get censored, but that's all the way. People fucking should know you. All you have to do is look at the fucking shit. It's disgusting. God, man, that's really messed up. So all that Black Lives Matter stuff, like we all got set up. I knew Minneapolis after. That's Brooklyn. I think, because it would have to be Chicago otherwise. It's not Chicago, and it is like Brooklyn. Chicago's like scum, and that's what I think. As far as the kids, because like my dad offered for me to stay there. We were gonna live there. For some reason, he didn't stay there. He had like a sabbatical. And so then I went up to live with him because they're doing shit to me at my school down in Illinois, Carbondale. And then he said we should stay in Minneapolis, but I hadn't prepared. And they had offered him a job, like probably get a tenure professor there. He was already a tenure professor. And they were like hooking up some stuff. That was already the thing. The same thing that was doing the stuff to me in Carbondale, at MI6 and all that stuff. The Valerie Plame MI6 garbage was is Minneapolis. That's just a good side. So they wanted me to be Kurt Cobain, but I wasn't going to stay there, partly because the kids at our school, crew of white kids, a couple. That's that same shit like was in my in the new school in Carbondale. They're like, it's weird that they're there and they're bored and agitated and they'd be way happier at a regular public school. And they're there because they got put in there. There's like some garbage. And now I know. And they have their little clique, even though they kind of suck. And it's some kind of weird thing. But we had really cool teachers up in Minneapolis. We went to Jamaica. We had a field trip to Jamaica for like 9 days or something like that because it's cool. We had a field trip every Friday. We'd go on the bus somewhere. They had their own bus. It was like hippie teachers and stuff. They'd be like fucking like in the same bed together and whatever. It didn't fucking matter. On the things, well, like fuck, man. Yeah, so I didn't want to stay, partly because I was going to be a junkie, and I knew it. I'd be like Kurt Cobain. And it's a fucking thing. They'd scheme it up. Either I'm good or not, or like this fucking Shroomy Cream, man. I'll just be like that fucking shit. I don't think it would work with me, though. Not that kind of shit. I wouldn't do well. Probably like, I have to flail, burn out, but it might come back, whatever the fuck. They were going to fucking whatever. And it was like the child murder rate was the highest in the country in Minneapolis for the 80s, the early 80s. I could see it coming. I knew it was coming because it was a gang thing. But that's like good. It's not like a bad gang. It's like people like would take care of each other. And something worth something. And a combination, and plus all the adults laying off or being distracted with something. But now I know it's also some shit. There was some hand, the black hand, was fucking working the shit for that. So they're gonna wreck everything. All the Indian kids I know, they're just gonna wreck their shit. And they did the fucking doodad thing. Their fucking Black Lives Matter fucking event. They had that over near that. There's Native Americans. They came to Minneapolis. Maybe it was like established maybe 1900, 1905. They finally get it so they can have village life. Like, because everyone, the Bureau of Indian Affairs and all its precursors, are always trying to put them on a farm, and they're like the pitchfork guy and his daughter, American Gothic. And it's just like a nightmare without extended family, all the stuff. And they outlawed them from having ponies because they just go and get a bunch of ponies and go trade them, or not trade them, they just give them away. They have a different economic system. And if they hit any alcohol on the road, it'd be a mess. It'd like be an event. They get wrecked. And so Bureau of Indian Affairs, I don't even blame them really. And stuff when they were like outlawed, they're dancing, they're singing. They were Biggie Small. It was all the way bad. So the guys, their grandmothers would go too, and they'd be talking like horrid stuff, like in their language, and that's why they outlawed it because they're trying to do it and they didn't want them getting fucking genocided or whatever. Hell, because it's just touching alcohol and they try to stick them on their farms. Don't want them having the ponies or any trading any of the natural stuff for ponies to go haul firewood out from the hinterlands and be coming in. They're going to hit the alcohol and the issues and the jealous white trash, all the stuff, or even friendly that's going to get them to alcohol and be down the tubes. And so they're like, trying to get pressed into a farm. And it's just a family thing. It's like a nightmare, and they need to do village stuff. So they finally found their place, like in Minneapolis in that neighborhood, 1900 or 1905, and they just had like a renaissance. So they're like poor. It's like it'd be like a Jewish community or something like that really poor working class, but they're surviving and they're good. They got all their stuff intact. That's why they're so good. That's why it's so disgusting that they fucking dumped on it. And Google bans all the you can't see it on Street View. They stripped out all the stuff and it's disappeared, even for 20 years ago. All of it, all the history of the place, of the one place, and I think that's right nearby. And so so it really is disgusting. Okay, so yeah, there was stuff, and that would have been shit. Yeah, that's what that was. It's like even I was getting because all the kids were nice. We're all like each other. We, protect each other and stuff like that. And it's just these scummy. God, the shit was getting run. We had to go on a regular school bus sometimes, so there's issues. We get like beat up and stuff, or they try to, act like they're gonna beat us up. Fuck us. And man, that would have been it. I was supposed to be there. Even my dad's girlfriend. I know that was like some stuff. That was some weird stuff, man. And she wanted me to stay. God, she's on her best behavior, man. Like extra good. Like, and I can't believe he fucking leaves that too, because she was. So I don't know what it is. I think I had to be up there for him to really get his offer. I don't know what the fuck is going on with him, or was. There was some shit. There was some stuff, because he said stuff later. Like, oh, I should have. I don't think he could have stayed there if I wasn't there. I think there's something. It's not just the child support money. That's $250 a month back then that he makes. But I don't think so. He's so damn cheap. But, damn, man. Okay, so I'll get back to that. But back in 2015, so I'm back there. I'm at the airport. And so I'm walking around. Now I know. I was on a fucking watch. Like everyone, like I go into up where that university is, a little bit upstream from my old school, all that nice area. And like everyone just leaves for the summer. It's like fucking beautiful summer. And I come like walking up out of the fucking Mississippi River Valley up there. I look like Grizzly Adams. I got my blanket wrap and all my stuff and whatever the hell. I don't give a fuck. It's the summer. My stuff, blankets to go tanning, or my towels. But and then there's a and stuff is like kind of, it's interesting because it's so cold in the winter. So you have collectivized buildings. So it's a university and also other private, like a bank, maybe people's fucking apartments, all kind of inside a building. It's not always clear. But I went right in there, and there's a cafeteria, and they've now I know they're fake busy and being around. And the fucking one young lady, she was like just smiled at me, like I come in there looking like a fucking Clint Eastwood. And I was thinking, oh, that's Minneapolis, but no, that's something. Now I know. Okay, so when I came out of the airport in the early morning, and they know what it's about too. I was on a watch. I was on capital S thing. So, and then when I was down on the river later, I was like, they got some stuff running because they put them in the paths. Like I want to go up in those fucking, up in the woods, up the cliff and something in capital S or something, or whatever the fuck it is. Like as they get to word, and guys will just play them, and it ain't that. Because the stuff that happened in Boston, that they fucking did too. Northeastern University and Children's Hospital. in the whole goddamn thing. It's in the big things, the big, like whatever, the stuff that does the Karen Reed, the things that did that are come out on top and stuff. And the real guys, that means the guys that, like, they're on top of it, ignore, like, the ones, because they tell them, like, the ones that do the fucking, thing, like in the old days. You got, what do you call it? Martha's Vineyard, you got that. Liberia, Providence, Rhode Island, and it used to be, what is it? Was it Forest Martha's Vineyard in Providence? It was, the thing where Frederick Douglass came up and he got his job, like, putting the caulking into the boats and stuff. I'm just having a slip. And the whaling community, our thing, New Bedford, right? That's it, right? Damn, that was original. But it's this, like the real people. Okay. Or they have to look the other way, or God knows what. And they're like all king making. I know that now, so they just ignore my shit. Or they're fucking not ignoring it. They're working it. The stuff I'm giving them, man. And they fucking took over stuff. And they might have been getting ready anyway, but they do it a certain way. But so when I was in Minneapolis, yeah. So I'm coming out from the airport. Maybe I get to that fucking bus station. I know at the the end of the trolley. It comes from the airport, and then it comes to a good place to get off and walk down the river, whatever like that. So it's got this thing where you can pay when you get off, and it just has signs. It's got to pay, or it's not. It's kind of against the law if you don't pay. And it's Minneapolis, where they're supposed to be so nice, but it sounds like it's really against the law. You got to pay, and then you got to look at. I look at the machine. It's like, there's no way I can. I'm not gonna be like figuring that out. And then so I walk out of there, and it's a little bit later, somewhere in the block area or whatever like that. Some cops walk by me, all nice, and then that's fake, man. Because they that's their little thing to make it. You're naughty. You can do your naughty walk and watch you on your naughty walk, and they're all nice, and they got that special side. And it's like you can be right hand and left hand, or you couldn't believe what they do to someone or something. But that was all set up with the other stuff. So that was a setup. That was the first thing. Then I'm along the river. God, going up to that fucking where the university is and all that place, that cafeteria, and then going over to later and getting a coffee at the coffee shop. And the way the activity was in there, with almost none, the way people are, and a certain kind of smiling. And then walking down the street all day long, spend all day going up around there. And just like everyone's abandoned it, but like someone will be moving something. And it's like this fake stuff like they do here. Standing at their truck, and they're just like that right friendliness. Kind of just approachable and friendly in the right way, but really busy with their fake business. It was like that. Now I know. And then I go in downtown, and it gets like really fucking creepy. It gets some stuff, where you get to the real business stuff. And there's like some headquarters. There's got to be this stuff there. And I didn't know how to look for it. And I wasn't really so much into it. It's hot. It was really hot. There was like a heat wave. Because it is like continental climate still, so you can get that. But now I know. So they had contact. Something got them to watch me because the stuff they did in Boston. It's not like those guys in Minneapolis will know, but and they play them. They'll tell them they're gonna watch me for the thing, maybe the capital S thing, probably because this is what they did to that kid. It's Ambrose. Look up Ambrose in Boston in 2015. We struggle. I know they did it, man. It'd be like messed up because half the doctors, or a lot of Children's Hospital, or even all the doctors, real good. They're like trying to not do it. And you got the rotten faction. That'd be like it's a psychology department, but it's social worker faction of it. It is a faction of that. This one when they wrote this article on boarding in a hospital. So you look that up, you see, the faction, and then there was something, and I think but it gets hard to do too because because you really got to stick your neck out. Because if anything happens, you get accused. You got to have your thing. So it gets easy to do. And they had the parking garage at Children's Hospital, all just wide open, those stairs, just looking down. Like they closed up all that stuff. They redid that. And the place is like, that place is kind of cool. And then the battles, you fight the battles. Because people don't put up with that shit. Sometimes. But, yeah, that's what was going on, man. That was some... Yeah, so I was, God, now I know. And that's that stuff. So that's Brooklyn. And if I got that right, I got to have it right versus Chicago, right? Just like Miami's Brooklyn, right? And, or this part of it, and down here. And, damn, man. Yeah, they did that, man. It was like Northeastern University at the, the Curry Center. Had all them in there working the shit, observing, making nightmare, and like gearing him up, man. To do the thing. And like God knows whatever the fuck. He had football concussions. It's down the memory hole, and they have fake news articles about it. Afterwards, they have 2 fake ass articles like, "Oh, you play football way downtown, outside of town, down in where's out near where Mayor Menino's dad came from, where Menino grew up, and all that. Out like it's like way the hell out there, farthest south thing. That's actually cool out there. Shit, I'm forgetting my thing. It's actually like a suburb, like actual suburb. It's so far out, and it's like that farthest out thing, incorporated. But they're saying he's playing football there. He wasn't. He was playing at Boston Latin School. He played with he has like a little, like freshman or whatever like that, and playing with the super adults. And that'll be in there somewhere. They lie like a motherfucker. And that's how he got the thing, got all the concussions. So fucking true. It's so obvious they know it. It's down in the memory hole. I don't even know if his parents ever got anything. I had a chance to meet his dad once, and I didn't. Like, yeah, so they did. And they orchestrated that whole thing. So that was a funeral. As they broke up our vacation, that shit happened. And so they all knew that. So that's why I was at the airport. So I'm all by myself, fucking going around where I used to be when I was a kid. And so the same people. Now they do the thing, the fake stuff in 2020. Set up, get things all hooked in with it. Now I'm wondering, because like, no, I'm not just wondering. I'm starting to figure it out. Can kind of see. Because what you have here in Lee County, this stuff, what I'm only like just finding out, because it's hard to tell, is like, that's, the stuff that's particular, I think. And I have to go look at everyone now. Because it's just right above my head. Because you think, okay, some druggy cop, whatever like that. So you think everyone, oh, whatever the thing, especially if it's the M thing, the meth, right? Like, oh, they're gonna hit the skids or whatever. And that's all like probably even they made a big propaganda. Like you hit the skids after a couple of years. And really like, no, they managed it with doctors and shit. They got actual doctors, everything. And they put them to bed with WGBH Boston, right? Let's say it that way, right? And that stuff, and why they schedule that one. Like, they made a special law. It's like a variation on that, And that's to go to bed. That's the only thing. And that's why motherfucker. I don't want to just say shit about people. Oh my God, man, I know I do. He gets nightmares. It's like, holy fucking shit. I'll just allude, but, oh, fuck, man. That's why it's like that. Reminding me of my dad and different shit. And nightmares, because I don't know what... It's like unlike anything else. It puts you actually to sleep without all the messed up stuff. But it's also got to be like you can't wake up. Now usually nightmare, like in The Shining, like he wakes up, like I dreamed, like like there's nightmares where it's all this bad stuff. But then I guess there's that one where someone does something bad, right? And I would think that someone's like stuck asleep, and that's even acting out, trying to wake up yourself. Usually the nightmare is trying to keep you asleep. And that's the thing. And his nightmare is your friend. But then these things, like if it's really horrible like that, you get some maybe on bad medications. If people get that, maybe that's they're flailing, trying to force themselves awake, and it doesn't work. And it's not like they're destroying love object, because it's a certain way it's like there's a certain sense that it is the dream. They're trying to break out of it, and because you're supposed to be able to just turn away from it, wake up, and it's gone. And they're like, oh yeah, it's not that, and you're not supposed to be stuck. You should be able to flail, just like you can just jump off something and you wake up from a nightmare, right? Like when you're a kid or something. But so I'm just guessing that stuff might keep someone asleep for that. Maybe does that stuff, but maybe not. But because there's got to be some bad shit if people are doing the fucking to fuck, run around. You got some people administrating, and then the WGBH fucking go to bed, which is what I think it is, because that's what they did in Boston. The fuckers were just fucking talking about it, but then saying they're not. They talk about it, and what they actually say is they got a precursor, and then you don't need anything else. They just take that. And they're always fucking talking to me like I'd be like someone. That's that psychiatrist guy, the psychologist. And with the scooter dude was on that. But that was the real shit, probably. And that's a super schedule, like mandatory. And they upped it. They made a special thing. And that's probably one of the reasons, because it does that. It does a date rape thing, but it'll also be had a certain illegal category, and they can just manage it. These motherfuckers were on this shit way back, right? So I think they're even microdosing people on stuff. They're probably microdosing LSD, God, whatever the fuck they do, and then all the bad shit, and work it and put their ass to bed. They spank them to bed. Some of these weird cops or something, you just get spanked to bed, and the other people. And I gotta fucking start looking at them. And then that's why they're a certain way, And I'll find their nervous system fucking, that's what it is, and that's why I'm thinking certain things and getting a certain kind of feeling kind of emotionally obligated or something. I bet you the fuck it is, man. Because like you always look for, oh man, they hit the skids, because you can't control. Because it's like a fucking, your own behavior is not supposed to control your own hormones, your own ups and downs. It's supposed to be like, yeah, I want more. Or something that's that, like, so, it's a difficulty to control. But if the fucking thing is controlling it, which is the thing they do here. So I think we got a specific thing that's peculiar in particular here. And especially particular that it goes all through the working class. Like in this area, down Lee County. But it's coming from, and that part is coming from Tampa. Now that's right, isn't it? Like that, it's like that. It's like grows grassroots, right? Grassroots, and it hooks in with all the MI6 and all the scum and all the shit and all the rat part of the CIA and God knows what and the fucking whatever in the Boca Raton. And when they say, this one dude said, oh man, I said the M thing, I was bitching. And this one dude, this Fed dude, whatever the fuck it is, I was calling Feds the other day. I didn't put it on, but he said, oh, that's, yeah, Miami's doing it. And it's weird because it's kind of out like, because they're always shutting up. And it's like, I don't think it's just like he hears it and thinks of it, even if it is. He's kind of like saying it's them. And that's bullshit, because it ain't even the thing. It's not, oh my God, where does it come from? How do you get that? No, it's how do you work someone with it? How do you get them so they're not going like fucking schizo and you can control it? And how do you get it so you can drive to their house? Like, oh, can you have a little thing of it? And like, administrator will have to come over and deliver it with your pizza. They'll deliver it with their soda and stuff. Probably do. They don't even need to fuck around. Like, yeah, you get your food or something. Man, right? And that thing to go to bed, and they'll order them. They'll be like, hey, suck it up, go to bed. And they might not even have to suck it up that much because it's like the thing I said, but that's got to make them squirrely after a while. And that's what I'm thinking about. Fuck, man. That's what I'm thinking about. What the fuck? What's this fuck? I'm not going to say. Because we'll figure it out. Different folks. But, like I gotta fucking worry about now, right? Now, damn. So that's, that being able to get into, especially in this working class. And if it's like, even if you did it, like you have this fucking, I don't know, Brooklyn or whatever, what are they doing? Going around the colleges and stuff and administering, that's like people getting all like uppity. It's like, it's hard to get a grip on them. And especially with a drug, the drug in the working class, like you're already down on your thing. And how's your social security doing? And all this shit and all your stupid fucking petty shit, right? And your job and getting up, all this working class stuff. The working class ethic and the working class type of empathy and like nagging, get out of bed or something, and that, but true empathy. But you got to get spanked up to bed, get, and do the work too and all this stuff. But, and then like I think that would naturally start there because you got the fucking carrot and stick totally. Like even the bourgeoisie, the colleges, they don't have the carrot and stick, all the way, like, and then they come, I was like, I'm so pretty, I can go do whatever I want. It's fucking, but it'll like, so it would be like this. And then they do get the really good ones and all the shit, and they work their way up from it. I was saying, laundromats. It's like, this place came from laundromats. They must have had laundromats, back in the 80s or whatever. It must have been the supreme laundromats. To be able to go back in time and see those laundromats. Because there's no laundromats anymore. And it's something that they're badass. They should just be like, fuck it. Have a laundromat. Just like they have all those. Fucking, like if we reform it, right? So that's what I think, okay? And I bet it is. And that's why it's so weird. And it's like in your face and they troll it. And that's why the news goes around. And they'll get people. You see someone strung out or something, that's on purpose. And they'll fucking just flail that. And like in your face, what are you going to do to all these people and whatever the hell. They don't give a shit. Like, or that's their thing. So it's that. And, yeah, so they'd be saying, oh, Miami or something. Yeah, like, supposedly, and like, fucking no way. Like, these Tampa guys, they just get it from whatever the fuck, man. This shit's so fucking, they got this shit so tight. They wouldn't need, what is Miami? Miami and Cubans and different shit. And Brooklyn to then come over here and do this. Like, no, they go direct to the thing. They don't need that. They got all the Army, Navy, fucking whatever, airplanes and whatever the hell else. Or whatever they do. Like, it's like Miami would just be a fucking lie. Cover. They don't even want the, materials from there. Like, unless they're just fucking around because they want to stick them with it. You know what I mean? Like, it actually might be the Cuba thing. I think Cuba's like maybe. You go to Guantanamo and they got tunnels all under there and they're all like integrated and sneaking around. Maybe sneaking around behind Britain's back or whatever. The Cubans, the Americans. I'm kind of guessing, kind of get a feeling. And with some of the other countries. Definitely. Like in a good way though. So that's that. And then I got to start looking for that shit. And then they're always like going crazy, doing one thing or another with their fucking weird eye stuff and all their stuff. To make everything weird, to throw you off. So it'd be these subtle things. And that's something I got to start all over and look at. And think about. I think I actually know that's why it's irritating. There's certain irritation. And a disappointment in people. Like, because I expect a certain mood and it's not, or something. Or they send them on me and they're really nasty, bitchy. It's like certain things and it shouldn't. Because it's like they're on the thing and they had to work it their way up. But I bet the fuck it is, man. That's what it is, man. And And so we got that. I like to call it like Tampa. It's in the MI6. That's like Rape Incorporated. You know, like in the CIA would be the other thing, Murder Incorporated. Probably somewhat. I wouldn't be surprised. And I don't know about this the Kayla and the Kendra thing, because I look at it and then how they do certain crazy shit around it, right? Like, and I kind of wonder, like I say, like I told that cop, it's from his thing, but what if it's all the way and it's like from the other side? Like, what if there are two sides? And you have like Rape Incorporated versus Murder Incorporated, and it's like all the way dirty, like, or it's like got to that extreme, right? And it's like, and that's what I was implying. That's what I was saying. It's a thing. What would make them do something like that? Because they did the, like, and that's fucked up. And they have to get to the point you can't say anything. Or if these other motherfuckers are doing it, everyone else just has to shut up and work alongside them is their claim and responsibility. Go around with skeletons on their shirt and all kinds of, all the doodads. There's like a skeleton like wrapped around a tire, like on the back of a truck. Like, and they're getting, so it's going to be near Halloween, so they can act like that's normal. But they're like doing this, gearing this up, back in the summer, way early. And I knew that Kendra thing was coming. Like, they were like fucking advertising it. Oh, they did some stuff too, man. Me and my wife were driving back. And that's after I did that. After night out, we drive back. We're going back past that. It's a cool Publix where the what was it? Coal miner feds, like, because that's near where you're going south, and right past that is where the Kendra thing happened. But we were going past that, and there's supposed to be a road that turns from the oncoming traffic, can turn left to go into that shopping mall. And there was a car shining super bright lights at us, all the way bright, so you couldn't see. And a guy on a bicycle went right across the road, and the car went, a truck was going right on our right, and then the bicycle, and like, so you could just like almost couldn't see it. And they're doing that stuff, and then we drive past it's like a block or a half block to the Kendra thing, and like these two girls were sitting there, facing the thing. It's at night, acting like they're doing a thing. So that's like on purpose. This their stuff, so I just get to do that, and whatever the hell, so there is like the shit. Then I'm wondering what it is. How can it be? Because like you have Cape Coral City Council, they got this alternative. Maybe it's on the regular website. No, on the other one. There's like Cape TV, and the other something. And they did this stuff with Halloween stuff. And there's a skeleton or something. And then they had a skeleton on a motorcycle. Like, this is a while ago, before you're getting near Halloween, to do all this shit. And doing all their stuff. And that's what it is. But yeah, to Minneapolis. That was a cool place. And we were like authentic. We had like we'd vote, or not just vote, we'd do, because it wouldn't be majority rule or anything. Well, we'd do consensus. Oh yeah, because like these kids, they wanted to hang out the window in the back of the class and smoke cigarettes. And so we had to do a thing and talk and consensus. So I was one of two kids. I said, no way. Like, even though I felt really bad too. But that secondhand cigarette smoke makes me sick. It's not secondhand, it comes off the tip of it. It's nasty. So they had to be downstairs. Like, maybe where the guy, because it's like all way bad winter. They had to be like where those you come in the doors, and it's you have the radiators you can sit on. So maybe they'd be in that part, because they don't. If you go outside, you feel sorry for them because it's all the way bad. So we kind of stay each other way. So there's certain kids that smoke. That's a funny thing. Now that's the thing where like some of the really cool kids smoke. It's a certain thing. And then no one ever smokes. No one ever gets a smoking habit. It's like, and like we're just like 8th grade and shit like that. And other all the different grades. And it's like they come in from somewhere with it. And it's already their habit. They're like middle-aged habit. Like they kind of ought to not have. Because it's so fucking cool there. And we're trying to, help each other with and stuff. That was kind of funny, actually. But, damn. Yeah, I knew the shit was going to happen in the 80s. Yeah. Damn, so, like, I had to leave Carbondale, Illinois, and go up there, because they're actually doing really the S abuse thing at me in school. It really was. It was on purpose. It was like, seriously, that tweaks me, and then, but it's all on purpose, because they're actually do that there. Like, God, man, it was. And there's all this shit. Like, it was orchestrated. So, because I was supposed to be like, a piece of crap. But our family was supposed to get crushed out and driven out. So it's that same shit. But I go up to Minneapolis and they're all want me. It's like I'm going to be part of the thing. And I know it's that fucking same shit. It's that same fucking university shit. Because it's all the university town stuff. And the university, my dad, so he worked there. And it was really cool. And it'd be like this long-ass ways you can walk through in the winter. It was actually really cool. I just didn't want to be a junkie. I didn't it's not the murder rate or whatever. But like I would have, my dad didn't give a fuck. And it would have been, like I have a certain amount of willpower and not getting around people. But there's a certain shit where it'd wear you down. I'd be like Kurt Cobain and they would just fucking do that. My dad wouldn't give a fuck. He wouldn't actually give a fuck. And he acts like he's fucking fumbling around or something. But it probably would be. Oh, he wouldn't have to pay the fucking college. And yeah, that'd be better. Yeah, right. Because he never did anyway. That was like the divorce agreement. So my mom gets a house and some shit, or what's that? She still has to pay the mortgage, but the part there's $250 a month, child support for each of his kids. So it's $500 altogether. And then my dad's supposed to pay for college. All the college up till we're 25. But then if we don't go, it's like nothing. And so he could, always be working that. And then that's why I'm so weird. Like that's why I'm all the way. Like that's why you see it's like what the hell happened to me? Where's my I gotta do this or that or anything because it's all reverse engineered. And it's my dad on purpose. Like I didn't know I didn't even figure that out till a couple of years ago. Like all the way in the shit that he did. Some of the orchestrated stuff. Like I walked in the room once. And he was talking to my mom, like this whole opposite way he talks to me. Stuff. So that's what that was. And they do some shit, like when they got divorced. It wasn't the divorce yet, but he took off when I was 12. And he goes out to live in his trailer, and then that damn thing burns down, okay? And that thing burns down, and probably gets he gets some insurance, gets it worked right. The trailer guy, trailer park guy, is probably cool with it. I mean, he is, I'm sure. Like the chick he was in that with was the wife or the people that she was staying with one time was volunteer fire for the township. The mom had the big old fire boots with the pants that you pull up. You stick your feet in the boots and pull the pants up. She actually had that. So that's some shit. I can figure that out, recently. It's all the way. So that was all the way worked. So they had this mafia stuff, and however they get to my dad or their MI6 bullshit, and their little things, and their little, little dreams of, your Playboy dream, whatever the fuck. So that was that. And they worked that, man. So I had him going to Minneapolis. God, maybe they even cranked it up on me, at that school in 8th grade down in Carbondale. I think they were. Like I had tularemia first. Like it was like I couldn't go like a lot of the time. It was messed up. Then I got off tularemia. Then they're like doing weird shit with naked showers on me. Like really fucking weird and like intense and terror and like I don't go with their weird shit. So, but then I guess I could crack or something like that. And I was 3 years delayed. Like I go through puberty. Like well, like after it starts going, it was a full 3 years too. You do all the like fucking milestones or whatever. Like it'd be not just fucking 2.5 years, it's 3 fucking years as it finally works its way out. So it's like a absolute disgrace in the 8th grade shower, an absolute disgrace. Or a little pervy like, oh man, again. Because it's like that's what they fucking do. Some of them are fucking running around. And man, so I got there. I did that one. They got fucking so I almost fumbling with my lock on my locker. They forced me once. And I'm fucked up. I don't think I really went back again. And so I skipped school with that kid. Even that kid, they set it up so he'd be around me. The delinquent kid. He was kind of cool too. He's some of the original thing from the town, and it gone bad. The feed store. They had the feed store. Man, yeah, I know that shit too. Some other thing. And they track all that. Damn, man. Yeah, so that's that. Fuck. Yeah. So I guess. Yeah, so I was walking around Minneapolis, and now I realize. I now realize because that's why people were acting like that. And that's why there's a certain amount on the street. But it's like, God, man, it's like really a abandoned ghost town because the people that are there, you could kind of, if you really wanted to, go up and talk to them. There's certain approachability. But then there's also totally busy with their thing. Like just putting something in their car or something. And there's certain friendliness. And there's this one chick, if I had game, I would have been like, okay, let's go back to an apartment or something. And she was nice. And it probably would have been that. They were like working that shit too. And I don't even fucking do it. I don't fucking do any of that. Because I've been they've been on me my whole fucking life now. And that's not a fucking joke. I know it. And that's why I'm like this. That's why I'm a fox. And there's some food in the woods. And that's why I'm like a fucking weird. Like some incel fucking. Like I'm not an incel. I just play one on TV. You know? And a certain avoidance. And a certain like, no. Because I fucking know all of it, man. I know all the motherfuckers. They even got me to. Jeez, man. All of it. Damn. Damn, like when I came out of Carbondale finally. I had just turned 23, maybe. And came to Worcester to live with my mom. And she's like, okay, so then I come to, that's like what I gotta get into. Like, because there's the other side of it. And I know this is CIA shit. And it, like, what, with MI6, okay, I'll get into something else. But there's some, God, man, all this shit just goes together. And it's like corporations, universities, kind of coming together. But, like, she was, hooked up with a guy, which is weird because he's way younger, and he's like the black bourgeoisie. He's like he grew up on Martha's Vineyard, like the thing, and he made sure I got established and got a job and got good. And that's just God, it makes me think, man. Yeah, he even put me in an apartment, and he rented the apartment too, and I just fucking lived there. He didn't even come there that much. And stuff. And it was like, so that's that. That's the real shit too. And yeah, yeah, yeah. And he knows all that Rhode Island shit. He says like, look out, Rhode Island's like corrupt, but he knows They worked at Rhode Island. It's like I said, because that's that original stuff. That's New Bedford, the Frederick Douglass stuff. That's the real people. You know, it's first is New Bedford, then goes to Providence, Rhode Island. Like some of the Black liberation stuff and all the cool stuff, Liberia. And, damn, and Martha's Vineyard, of course. But like but then when I came to Boston, before I came, I visited the Hare Krishna temple once, and then again. So I must have met my friend. He must have been there one of those times. Okay, or maybe it wasn't. Maybe it's only that Friday that I went. It was the first time I ever met him. God, I think it might have been. I think it might have been the first one. So he just shows up on Friday, and he's like all nice, and he says, "Okay, they're having Shabbos." So we go over to Moshe's house out in Brighton. And they said, "Oh, I can live there." Like Moshe's going to go away with everyone, going to haul ass over to Hawaii and just go there for the winter. And so I just got to stay upstairs and live there. And it's a weird apartment because you have to use there's no heating except for the wood stove. You gotta chop wood. But I was fine with that because I grew up doing that, having to live like that. But most people it'd be kind of weird. It's for the attic place, but I was fine with it. Damn, man. And that's the thing. So I found out Moshe's daughter, Moshe Blatt, his daughter wrote a book, like a biography of him. Like even though they had disappeared on the internet, she wrote that thing back in maybe 2010 or something like that. And I had looked up stuff before that wasn't on there. They're probably hiding it because that's weird. It's weird, obscure. But I know her. She was his fourth kid, so she was visiting. Back there, maybe she's back in 91 or somewhere around there. Or 1990, 91 or sometime. She's visiting for a while. And she was like 8 or something then, or something. She was really cool. She's a smart one. And God, man, now she wrote the book. Then she lives and does this stuff. She's in South Carolina, so some of the stuff connects to that. And she does the hippie stuff and all that, and she writes for Mother Earth News. Other than that, it's not much stuff. But she wrote a big biography of Moshe, so I gotta order that and get it and read it. And okay, so he came. It was like he was in Toronto, so it's the British that got him out. So there you go. And I fucking knew it, man. I knew that shit was like some British, but these guys don't just go along with it because it's real shit. They got matters. Like he came out. I guess they got him out in 45, 46, right after the war. He was a kid, so he had been born in Poland and escaped the Nazis, and lived in Russia. And I found this out. It was on a Russian collective farm of Russians. So it's all the Jews living there for the war. And then, damn. So he was really cool. So he was in Toronto, grew up there, got all cultivated, got in the university, got a professorship, went and was a professor or whatever, taught at Harvard, and did all the shit, and does all the LSD and all the sucking stuff, all through the 70s, hangs out with Timothy Leary and the whole thing. Like the Tibetan monks, when they first visited, they came to Moshe's house, in that same place I stayed, upstairs. So I was getting all the, I can pick up on stuff like that. Like they were like singing their Tibetan monk stuff, and that's the first place when they came to America, where they stayed. And so that's all that CIA and MI6 and God knows what stuff. So these guys work with all that, but like this is real shit. Like he knew everyone, and they adopted me. It wasn't just my friend Jim, and that's who got me. That's who Jimmy had to do a favor. That's what turned me on to MI6, and I figured out all the MI6. And then they ran me in Southie and shit. And so I realized, and that's why I got to recognize some of their other shit in their tells. But all the Jew stuff was that's some whole other thing too, because that's kind of important. Like even though they don't talk about it, like Moshe had been with everyone, all the hippies, for the 80s, because they had a renaissance in Israel. Hippie renaissance in the 80s. And then it had stopped, and everyone's bitching. Or he tries to hang around. He speaks Yiddish, fluent Yiddish. So he wants to hang around there, but then they throw rocks at him or something. I guess she'll explain it in the book, but I hear the stories. Because he wants to run around and do his stuff. His weird stuff, but they're not going to have it. Like, they were like, get out of here with that. But damn, man. But, who did we know? So, Ira Axelrod, the banker. He was cool. He owned part of Grove Bank. And he was supposed to, like, I think he did. He was, like, looking out for me. He got me a job, too. And if I really, like, latched on, I would have, like, they would have been working on me. Because they were trying to fucking, like, have me. I just wasn't. Like, it's because of my dad's shit and all the shit. So any advice or any of your own self, it's like all screwed up from my dad. It's not just like that's some excuse. It's all I'm integrated like that into it. And so it's just fucked up, upside down shit. And that's why I'm so like this. But then I can be independent. I'm only making like a really good use of it now. Finally, everything I fucking know and looking at the things independent. So I used to just watch the street and stuff. But Ira Axelrod, he had been a kid in the concentration camps. I heard, that's what they said. And then his part of his eyebrow had been like came off. He had an issue in the concentration camp or whatever. So where the had rotted off or something, like on one or both of them. Like so there wouldn't be an eyelash there, and it goes up a little bit, like crooked. Like if it had been chipped away or something. And that was like from a like issue. And he wore the same clothes. He had the same overcoat. Like a wool overcoat. He wore it all the time. And it's from the 1950s or something. So it's like 1990 by then, 1989. And he's not going to change it. He just wears that. And he's like has millions of dollars or whatever. And then you get it, like everyone's going to get murdered if you don't have money. And he knows that. He has this attitude. And you can tell that's what it is. So it's that. And so that's where I see all this stuff. Because that's like a separate thing, or like a utility. Like people like being connected with something for utility. Like the British brought Moshe over to Toronto. So it is that. It does connect to that. And whatever they did. Now when they do Whitey Bulger. Lucas says Bulger, but I always say Bulger anyway. So I'm like, fuck it. Like that's probably CIA being like, okay, we're not just gonna have Timothy Leary or whatever the fuck that. We're gonna have like MI6. It's gonna have a difficulty with it. White Bulger. Right, so we'll do him up on it. Make him get that thing, whatever the fuck it probably is, man. It's kind of the shit they do here too. But yeah, maybe some of the shit is and stuff. Fuck. So I gotta get that book. That's where I get a lot of my attitude. Like a certain thing. And where I gotta be. Like I feel kind of bad. I don't have just a growing my hair. It's like something. Well, I do sometimes. A really hippie beard. What the fuck? It don't matter anyway. But I was too miserable and uptight. It's like I can't fucking. Actually, now I know too. It's not that it's like I have a certain uptightness because it's like the certain hippiness thing, but they're all rich hippies and like whatever the hell. So they got to like a whatever it is. You have to band together. And they go around, go to the fucking rainbow gathering, and it's like whatever. But it's really there. It's like the university thing. Because like Moshe reminds me of my dad so much like that. It's that university thing. He's got that whole like whatever, your scholarship, internship, fellowship. He has some of that, or he came up through that in some ways. But he's badass. You can tell it's like early childhood would be. Like his own daughter says he's like a wolf. And that makes so much sense. It's like kind of true. It's so weird. But he's so cool. Like, and then he can sing the Shabbos stuff. So I was doing that after he left. I get so with God. He's the ultimate too of the mood and the thing. And there's always something weird. Some stuff got closed down. That's what it is. Like all their stuff got closed, and it's not just like I hear, oh, the hippies, they're running around the yard naked, and the neighbors complain. You hear that story, and they have a trampoline out back. He used to own the big old land. They sold it. It's way behind us. It used to be like a farm even out there. Because they got the barn. They got a barn there too. But they sold this big old thing of land that went to the. They made an old folks home there. But yeah. But there's something else they have to go and go run around, and then by that next wife he's gonna have, I guess that's the last one or something. Fifth wife, I think something, and that's so funny seeing them. There she's like, and they're about to finish medical school internship. What do we call it? The thing, and it's like, oh my God, it's like the Woody Allen movie where it's like, in Annie Hall, and he's trying to recreate some of the he's trying to have a girl that's not Annie, and he tries to do the lobster thing, and it's fucked. And then they're up in bed, and then he's in bed and he's trying to say some stuff, and she's so fucking square. And like it'd be like that because Moshe would be on the futon in the middle. Like you just like you come into his house like a big old mansion, and he'd be on the top floor, and you just walk in. Nobody does a doorknob or a bell or anything. You just go up there and walk right there, and his bed's right there. So it'd be like that. I guess he grew up that way too, but it's so funny because it's like a fucking, it's like a thing they were gonna do, and he gets all. There's some kind of organized thing with it. Like here, let's do that. That'd be a match. I think it was. And it was like God, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, so when I first came, so they put me in the house, and the Schlotzkys live downstairs. We call them the Schlotzkys. There's two families. One of the Schlotzkys and the other folks, and they're going to go to the West Bank. They were going to go to the West Bank. And they're finishing their doctor thing. Their what do you call it? The practice. The internship, like the thing. I can't remember. I so forget the name of that term, but they're both like guys for finishing it, and then they have their wives and the kids, and they're really cool. But they're really into it. Like in Shabbos, you have to be real quiet. And they're like, it's Shabbos, and they get all tense because they don't want to be angry. You can't be angry, so you get all tense about how it's going to be Shabbos, and people I need to be quiet. And H-Mar would come clunking up. I'm the one who moved him in, and with his boots on, because he had been in Lebanon, and for the invasion in '82, he had been in the war, and he ended up in the brig. Like I guess that's a secret. Like because he wouldn't have, he said he refused to get out of bed after a while, and he was on strike. But he used to drive the truck from Lebanon, taking it down to Egypt to subvert all that stuff. Get high on your own supply, and then I get out of bed. Or something like that. Or maybe. But yeah, shit. Damn, yeah, but they were cool though. They were going to go to the West Bank and do that. And to go, like Moshe had been teaching them their Yiddish, I think. I think it was actually Yiddish. They wanted to be like all fancy and know Yiddish too. I think that's what it was. I don't think that's a Hebrew. Maybe, or something. But he's so fancy, he knows fucking actual Yiddish. And so they still had the You get the halava or whatever, the bread you're supposed to have for Shabbos. There's a store right there still open, and there's a fire station here. And kind of down there, maybe it's like not as far as the fire station. They had the fire station, and they had that weird sword school, like a Zen sword school. Like these monks that actually did a sword. Maybe it wasn't, I don't know if it's Zen, Japanese Zen, but it was a sword monk place, and that was weird. And that was some weird stuff. And so you actually had the bread for Shabbos, and so it's because Brighton, it was in Brighton, up near Boston College actually. And so it was like the Jewish community was just like, that's all that's left of it, just that store and a couple things. And everything else is gone, goes out to or Newton or Brookline or whatever the hell it does. It's fucked. Because Boston College is like kind of fucked. I found out. Yeah, so that's that. That's that. Yeah, so I'm gonna get that book and figure that out. So that was all like there's something going on, man, and they were like gonna be. God, man. However the fuck that works, man. Because it's awful quiet about what's really going on. Like, whatever the thing is. It's like weird. There's no politics or anything.